Hi, everybody. It's been a while since my last vlog, and I wanted to just check in because I feel like a lot has happened, even though a lot hasn't actually happened. I think it just feels like a lot has. So it's May, 13th? It's a Monday. And it's funny because last week I had a pretty rough week, to be totally honest. I had to make some really hard decisions when it came to hiring and my team. I had to change my schedule around a lot to accommodate for construction and problems that came up, troubleshooting, all of that. And I honestly was just feeling really crummy. And it's funny because back in the day, I'll be totally honest, I would never even admit that to anybody because I joke about it, but it's so true. I really hate admitting to any weaknesses. It's hard for me to be vulnerable, and it's hard for me to share times and struggles that I have when I'm actually having them. It's funny because after I get past the struggle, I'm really happy to share my experiences. I'm pretty much an open book about my past challenges, and I'll talk to you about any of it. But if you ask me in the moment how I'm doing, most of the time I'm doing pretty good, to be totally honest. But even if I am having a hard time, I struggle answering honestly because I like to just focus on the positive and I don't like to burden other people. But I've realized over the years that that's a disservice to my friends and family that love me and want to support me. And it's a disservice to myself because I'm not Pollyanna and things aren't always easy and good and positive. Yes, you can see the silver lining. You can choose to see the good, the positive, but sometimes things just kind of suck. And last week I was having one of those weeks. And I'm telling you all of this because I'm really proud of myself, because I actually admitted I was struggling and I called my mom, which I never do because I don't want to bother her either, which is crazy because she loves me and wants to help me. So I'm really happy that I did because she was wonderful and totally helps me feel better. So thank you, Mom. I love you. And it's funny though. So I was saying before I was interrupted that I called my mom and it was really helpful. But I was still kind of stuck in this grumpy mindset. And it was as though every day I got up on the wrong side of the bed. And I absolutely hate that. I hate that feeling. And yes, I get that feeling just like I did last week. And it's funny though, because I let myself feel it. I let myself talk about my struggles. I let myself complain a little. And then after talking it all through, I sat down and meditated on Friday night. I had this amazing talk with one of my business partners, and I had this amazing meeting on Friday with all of my personal training group, my personal trainers, and it was just this magical combination of people in my life supporting me and supporting the studio and believing in the studio. And I sat with that on Friday. It was like 5 o'clock after the whole week, and I was wrapping it all up. And I remember Josh was actually waiting because we had dinner plans, and I went into the bedroom and I sat down next to an open window and I just breathed and I closed my eyes, one hand over my heart, one hand right underneath. And I just took a few moments to myself, and it's crazy because I'm sure it wasn't just that moment. I'm sure it was a combination of all of those things. My mom, the personal training group, the call with my business partner, like all the different things that helped me. But I actually got up from that moment feeling so internally different. I felt lighter. I felt happier. I felt relieved. And it's funny because nothing really changed, and none of the problems that I was struggling with had really poof and disappeared. I didn't get, a call that we were opening and that the permit was approved. Nothing had changed, but I had changed inside. And it was really powerful. And I actually went and I got up and I had an amazing night with some of my closest friends. And the whole time I just felt this sense of joy and gratitude in my heart, because I realized that while things aren't necessarily going exactly to plan, I am so grateful for this opportunity, and I can see it coming into reality. I can see the finish line. And to even be able to be in this journey is so huge for me. So actually, it's even funny. I just bought myself this. It was an Instagram ad, I have to say, but it's from Mantra Bands, and it says, "Enjoy the journey." It's really pretty. So it's a ring that you can get and wear as a necklace if you want. But it really spoke to me last week. And by Friday, I found that joy. And I am still feeling it all weekend, Saturday, Sunday, even today. And today, let me tell you, started out just like last Monday with craziness and problems and questions and decisions, and I feel different inside, because even though I'm still having to deal with all of that, I'm still having to troubleshoot and problem solve and call different people and rearrange schedules, I just feel differently. And long story short, or I guess the lesson that I want to share with all of you is that even if you're not building a business, even if you're just having a hard year, even if you're in a program or school and you're not enjoying it, even if you keep running into problem after problem in your relationship, whatever it is, I suggest you do what I did. And that's 1, be honest with yourself. 2, reach out for help and support. 3, sit with that. Sit with the inspiration and the encouragement, the love and the support from others, and feel it deep in your heart. And then if you can, choose to internally shift your mindset, shift your heart set, shift your view of the present, and stay committed to the future and to what matters to you. Now, I know it's easier said than done, and it always doesn't work out that way. But I encourage you to keep trying to create the life that you want, the life that you deserve, and to do everything in your power to get there, and to honor yourself, because you're worth it. I feel like I sound like a commercial at the end. You're worth it. But it's totally true. So yeah, that's been my journey over the last week, and I hope you find this interesting. If you have questions for me, let me know. I love sharing this journey of opening Savin Hill Fitness Studio with all of you. And if you're in the Boston area, come and check us out once we open, which should be sooner rather than later. All right, have a great night. Namaste.